Welcome to the third episode of NEWSMAKERS! Yay! Some of you might be wondering who I am. I made a short guest appearance on our first episode, helping out with Shiu's coverage of the Korean age system. But this time, it's my turn to take the lead. But of course, I have someone next to me. Rayhan will be giving me a hand this week.
I'm here to assist you.
No, 어시스트 하다가 골을 넣는 거. Say hi.
아직 아무도 안 들어온 건데? 저희 시작한 건가요?
네. Hi, we are NEWSMAKERS. Yeah! Yay! And it's good to be back. It's been like 2 weeks since I did join the live stream, and you actually did one last week.
A week ago, right. Can you guys introduce yourself? I'm new here.
Okay, let's introduce
Tanisha.
ourselves. Hi, Tanisha. My name is Yujin, and my last name is Hong, and I'm also a news reporter, a rookie news reporter at Arirang TV. Nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us today. Utaran says, God bless Korea. You must really love Korea.
So do you guys have any topics that you want us to, cover? Oh, my wedding on 20.
You're getting married? Muhammad is getting married. Let's cheers
With Korean
to
girl. With Korean girl.
with
Muhammad said, I have a problem to read as 사랑해서야 at wedding because I can't read Korean well. And it'll be so funny for the visitors.
I want to attend the wedding, but in Gyeongsansi.
Are you invited?
I just invited myself. My biggest regret is not fully learning Korean while I was in Korea. Raphael says 안녕. So I guess you can speak a bit of Korean?
So what about other viewers here?
I guess like today, a lot of you guys are interested in Korean language, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that this week we could maybe cover about Korean language
languages.
learning. I wonder how much Korean is learned in other countries because like a long time ago, I kind of saw the news and there was like a small tribe in another country that you selected Korean as its official language.
Yeah.
So the name of this tribe in Indonesia is Jia, and they officially adopted Korean as their writing system more than 10 years ago. Interesting, huh? But the thing is, I'm already aware of the growing number of students around the world who are studying Korean. And this surge of global interest in the Korean language stems from the popularity of Korean culture. All right, allow me to summarize briefly. You all know about BTS and Squid Game, right? It's well known that the popularity of K-pop and K-drama has led to growing interest in the Korean language. So to be honest, I didn't really know exactly where to start.
So 안 보이잖아. So
외국 사람들이 한국어를 좋아하는 거는 it's not very interesting for you.
맞아요. 왜냐면 저 외국 사람이 아니니까. 그래서 지금 도입이 안 생각나요. 도입이.
근데 지금 한국어가 어렵다는 게 포인트인 것 같아. 그리고 사람들도 막 댓글 되게 많이 하고 했잖아. 그래서
As Noor said, I'm starting to learn Korean, but it's so difficult. Korean language is so difficult. I tried, but I couldn't.
Esther says pronunciation is the hardest. Yeah. So what is difficult about Korean? Because we're native Koreans, we can't really
think
know
of
what's
it.
really hard about Korean.
Vai Chu said, do you have any easy way to study Korean language?
What's your tip?
Well, actually, there's a saying that if you date somebody who's from that country, that's the fastest way to learn language.
It's true, guys.
Why, do you have experience?
Come to think of it, yeah. Even though I'm a native Korean speaker, I admit Korean is quite a complicated language.
근데 언니 봤을 때는 뭐가 제일 어려운 것 같아? 외국인 분들이 한국어 배울 때.
나는 내가 한번 생각을 해봤거든? 존댓말이 일단 조금 어려울 것 같아. 왜냐면은 우리가 외국인들 생각해봤을 때도 그냥 존댓말 하는 거에서 되게 웃긴 상황들이 많이 연출되잖아. 그래서 우리 아빠 같은 경우에도 이건 그냥 사담인데 그 우리 아빠 같은 경우에도 중국인 학생들이 많아. 중국인 학생들이 맨날 번역기를 돌려가지고 보내는 거야. 그러니까 뭐 예를 들면은 교수님, 저는 5시까지 제출할게. 이런 상황들이 연출이 되는 거지.
As Rayon said, honorifics feature prominently in the Korean language. Korean honorifics are somewhat unique because they come in so many different variations. So I can't imagine how difficult it must be to foreigners who are trying to learn Korean. So I managed to find several foreigners who are highly fluent in Korean.
보통 사람들이 한국에 대해서 얼마나 알고 있는지.
It's sea bingsu and it's one of my favorite dishes.
Oh my gosh!
저는 한국산 24년 된 영국에서 온 볼갑입니다. 반갑습니다. 또 아파트.
I couldn't miss out on the chance to meet them in person and ask them about the journey they took to master the Korean language.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. So you're Paul and you're Vivian?
Yeah.
I did have that problem because at the beginning the book is all in like 존댓말, and so you're very polite even when you talk to your friends. So my friends, they would say, why do you sound so polite in Korean, but like in English you're not very like nice.
Korean grammar has different levels of politeness, and the textbooks are mainly focused on more 합니다, that kind of pattern, right? So it can be a little bit awkward when you go out, and in reality, most of the time in your daily life, you're hanging out with friends who you would normally speak in 한말 to, but they don't really teach that kind of thing. So
Talking to Vivian and Paul reminded me of the different levels and degrees of difficulty that exist when learning Korean honorifics. Now, I need to talk to a Korean language expert to find out more.
한국어의 높임말은 단순히 아랫사람이 우더른에게 말을 높인다 개념뿐만이 아니라 낮춤의 계열 그 의미도 포함하고 있어요. 뿐만 아니라 상대 높임법 같은 경우에는 사람 사이의 관계뿐만이 아니라 이것이 공식적이고 격식적인 상황인지 아니면 더 일상적이고 편한 사이인지, 그러니까 높임법은 사람 사이의 관계도 잘 따져야 되지만 자기가 처한 상황이나 맥락이 어느 정도의 격식 수준을 가지고 있는지도 따라야 하는데 정해진 법이 딱히 있는 게 아니니까 그때그때 눈치껏 잘 써야 되겠죠. 그것이 참 어려운 점입니다.
So Piston Honda 87. I use a phone translator and hope for the best.
And like another like not interesting but a unique part of Korean is that we use like shortened words.
Right, shortened words. A lot of shortened words nowadays, actually.
Can you give us an example?
You want to test me?
Yeah. 부먹 찍먹. Do you guys know what 부먹 찍먹 is? When you guys like eat something with sauce, 부먹 is you pouring the sauce onto the food you eat,
Right.
and 찍먹 is you dipping
it.
the food to the sauce. So that kind of like depends on which you like.
Just like Rayhan and I do, many Koreans use abbreviations all the time when messaging each other and in casual conversations. Let me illustrate by giving you some of the more popular examples. In Korean, 남친 is short for 남자친구, which means boyfriend. We even do the same thing for English words. For example, we often say 베프 instead of best friend.
혹시 한국 줄임말에 대해서 좀 아시나요? 약간 slang, Korean slang. 예를 들어서 뭐 치맥, 먹방, those like shortened words. Are you guys aware of that?
Yes.
모르는 사람 없어요.
Oh, so everybody knows.
Yeah, because people use things like mukbang always and chimek, so they just learn it because they hear it right away.
Mukbang's in the English dictionary nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Korea is such a dynamic language. There's constantly new slangs being invented or adopted.
Last year, out of the 26 Korean words added to the Oxford Dictionary, there were portmanteaus like chimek and mukbang. They're now being used not only in Korea, but around the world. Then how did these words become so popular?
If you are of course, it's to do also of memory, our brain capacity. Most of Korean names are two syllables. And two-syllable words easy to remember. For these words to become like widely circulated, widely used, and to become popular and easy to pick up, it has to have sort of more physical elements of it, which is the sound pattern and Korean language and Korean lexicon, which is 2-3 syllables.
Syllables. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. But Professor Lee pointed to the nature of mobile devices that we use on a daily basis, such as smartphones.
우리의 효율성을 굉장히 중요하게 생각하는 민족인 것 같아요. 그리고 한국 사회 자체가 아주 빠르게 돌아가기 때문에 짧은 시간 내에 처리해야 되는 일이 많은 것처럼 언어적인 데이터도 굉장히 빠르게 처리해야 되는 사람들이라고 생각이 들고요. 그러려면 일단 줄여서 짧게 말하는 것이 효율성을 높이는 방법이겠죠. 특히 이런 것이 많은 게 한국의 온라인상, SNS상에서 많이 있었고 그런 것들이 일상생활에서 까지 넘어와서 말할 때도 적용이 되는 거잖아요. 근데 보통 세로형 디바이스를 쓰다 보니까 세로형이면 헤드라인을 쓸 수 있는 공간이 요만큼밖에 없잖아요. 그러니까 맨체스터 유나이티드라고 쓰면 다른 말을 쓸 수 없으니까 짧은 세로형 디바이스에서는 메뉴 이렇게 줄이는 것이 훨씬 효율적일 것이라고 생각이 들고요. 짧게 줄였어야 짧은 시간에 많은 내용을 담을 수 있을 거라고 생각이 들어요.
What I found surprising was that abbreviations are not strictly a modern trend in the use of the Korean language. But the difference is that in the past, they almost always used the first syllables in a string of words. One example of this is the word 소련, which referred to the Soviet Union.
예전에는 줄임말이 있어도 그 줄임말 자체로 어떤 의미가 성립이 됐는데 요즘에는 외래어가 된 외국어라든지 고유어랑 외래어가 섞여 있는 말들 이런 것 어종에 관계없이 이제 음성적으로 숫자를 줄이는 것, 길이를 줄이는 것이 더 주 목적이 된 것 같고 이러한 것들을 빠른 시간에 확산시킬 수 있는 제가 등장한 이후부터 전국적으로 특히 젊은이들 사이에서 확대된 것 같습니다.
Then why are you guys trying to learn Korean language? Are you guys trying to get a job in Korea or are you guys a student? I'm working here, that's why I want to learn to communicate with people here. And Rafael said, I watch a lot of K-drama. That's actually one of the most efficient way to learn new language.
Then you can actually learn the phrases that people use in real life.
As the expert said, the younger social media savvy generation in Korea often use abbreviations like it's second nature to them.
So just by looking at people around me, I think that the Korean portmanteau words or shortened words, they have become a key trait of the Korean language. So I actually want to check out whether this is true. So the place that I thought of was a high school. So I'm currently at a high school, in front of a high school, and then I think I'm going to grab some high school students and actually ask them whether they use these shortened words a lot when they talk to their friends or talk to people that they are close to them. So let's go.
요새 이제 친구분 같이 학생분들이 좀 줄임말을 많이 만들고 사용한다고 하는데 실제로도 줄임말을 많이 사용하시는 편인가요?
네, 저희가 학교 내에서 아니면 그 집단 내에서 유행하는 경우도 많고
중고등학생들도 요즘 되게 줄임말을 많이 쓰고 초등학생들도 요즘 많이 쓴다고 알고 있어요.
그러면 이제 가장 좀 많이 사용하는 줄임말이 있다면 예시를 좀 들어주실 수 있을까요?
어쩔 TV 많이 사용하는 것 같고
어쩔 TV 막 이런 것들을 많이 사용하죠. TV 어떤 TV를 붙이는 경우가 많아요.
네, 그러면 이제 왜 이렇게 학생분들이나 아니면 한국 사회가 전반적으로 줄임말을 왜 많이 쓴다고 생각하세요? 이유가 있을까요?
이제 학생들 특성상 이제 뭔가 더 소속감을 느끼거나, 그러니까 자기들끼리 유행어를 만들어서 소속감을 느끼거나 그런 효과도 있어서 종합적으로 그렇게 사용하게 되는 것 같아요.
일단 짧게 말하면 편하기도 하고 그렇게 많이 얘기하다 보니까 습관화된 것 같기도 하고 또 주변 친구들이 이제 많이 사용하다 보니까 그게 하나의 유행이자 어떤 문화가 된 것 같기도 해요.
되게 결국에는 편의성 때문에 말을 줄여서 더 사용하는 것 같고 요즘 보면은 말을 줄여서 사용하는 애들이 좀 더 편하게 보일 때도 있고.
But the problem is that not all Koreans, especially the older generation, are aware of these new slang terms.
제가 재밌는 놀이를 갖고 왔는데요. 제가 이것을 준비했어요. 신조어 테스트.
저 이런 게 있어?
네, 찾았어요.
Oh my gosh.
억텐의 반대말은 갑통 아래 뜻으로 옳은 것은?
그런 거 안 쓰는 거 아니에요?
너또 다의 의미로 옳은 것은? 누가 쓴다고? 스라벨은 뭐야? 워라벨은 그거고. 스터디? 그럴 수도 있겠네요. 공부와 삶의 균형 맞습니다.
와, 온노는 뭔지 알아? 온노? 온라인 클래스 노예.
Well, if even Koreans like us don't know these words, wouldn't it be even trickier for foreigners?
You found this word out of context, but you cannot find those words in the dictionary. Dictionary only has the preserved full form. Any dictionary, even Naver dictionary, you go, you hardly find what you actually use. The shortened form, there's nowhere to go. So for the people, for non-Koreans, even if those words are always used, and Koreans can easily guess this means that. But if you are not in particular context, you have no way to find the meaning, the context, without consulting Korean speakers. Books and dictionaries in Korea have a very prescriptive view, but actually in reality, those words are used by many people. But there's nowhere where you can find the meanings of these words, and you only need to consult with the native speakers to find the meanings.
I think if you're learning in a formal environment, in a like 오학당, they're mainly teaching grammar from I guess textbooks which don't get updated that frequently. So it's all about Chosu went to the library to do this, which is, it's a perfectly valid sentence, but it's not the kind of words that people use frequently, right, these days. And I think there's no part of the course which covers slang and things like that. And I guess you just have to wait until you come across those words in your life and then find out what it is, get someone to explain to you.
Because for me, I always hear some new slang because I have like a group chat with my Korean friends and they just use it right away. So when I see something new, I kind of think about what they're talking about related to our subject. And then I'm like, oh, I get it. Or if I'm not sure, I could just ask them directly and then.
Now I'm curious to get some perspective on this from a Korean instructor's point of view. This is a Korean language institute located in capital Seoul, and Raehyun got to interview a professor there. According to the professor, the institute currently focuses on teaching fundamentals such as basic grammar rather than new buzzwords or abbreviations. but she mentioned that there is indeed growing demand among students to learn trending Korean words and expressions.
근데 이제 제가 느끼는 부분과 또 학생들이 바라보는 건 조금 다른 것 같아요. 그러니까 학생들은 당장에 내가 사용할 수 있는, 그리고 요즘 워낙 정보가 많기 때문에 뭐 SNS나 유튜브에서 바로바로 튀어나오는 그런 언어를 바로바로 알아채기를 원해요. 근데 사실은 그것도 물론 중요하지만 기본적으로 이제 정규 교과 과정을 밟지 않으면 그런 그 부분을 알아간다고 하더라도 전체적인 이해를 하는 건 어렵거든요. 그 주제만 가지고 배우길 원하는데 사실 진짜 정규 수업에는 그런 게 다 녹아 있거든요. 네. 물론 그 책에 그 신조어가 다 반영되어 있지는 않아요. 왜냐하면 이게 너무 빠르게 변화하다 보니까 그런 거를 책에 바로바로 담기는 어려운데, 그래서 교사의 역할은 그 교재를 기본으로 해서 교사가 이제 뭐 신조어라든지 유행어라든지 그런 부분들을 그때그때 수업 시간에 학생들한테 가르쳐 주는 거죠.
High school students and you did this with us. 너의 느낌. 근데 저도 항상 특히 외국인들이랑 대화할 때 뻘쭘하게 항상 얘기하는 게 제 자신에게 갖고 있는 아쉬움이었는데, 똑같이 외국인 분들도 그렇게 한국어를 배울 때 약간 이제 정식적인 스탠더드한 표현을 배우니까 저는 그 사람들이 왜 그렇게 느끼는지 너무 알겠어요.
Well, to be honest, before the live chat session, I thought I knew all there was to the Korean language since I was born and raised here.
Then why are you guys trying to learn Korean language?
Are you guys dating Korean people?
But come to think of it, though I may have been comfortable in using the language, there was so much more.
한국어 교육이 되게 여러 가지 갈래가 있거든? 근데 첫 번째 갈래가 이제 약간 좀 우리가 생각하는 그런 어려운 좀 문법적인 좀 그런 면이라면, 두 번째가 문화로서의 한국어가 있어. 그걸 좀 찾아보면 좀 재미있게 할 수 있을 거야.
무엇이 무엇인고.
I was unaware of how the language is evolving and just how popular it has become globally.
I was about 16 at the time, came on a family holiday to visit my dad's friend. I stayed about 10 days and after spending 10 days there, I was kind of very fascinated by the Korean language. So I thought, I went back to the UK and it was time to decide what I was going to study at university. And I briefly thought about studying Korean, but my kind of careers counselor at the time said that'd be a complete waste of time, won't be useful for anything, don't do it.
I have kind of something similar. Like when I signed up for uni as well, one of the teachers asked me, well, she brought my mum in actually secretly and said, look at her application. She's like doing this weird language.
I can't believe that only a few years ago, Korean was considered to be an exotic language and not many people believed it be worth learning. But now, thanks to the Korean wave, the Korean language by extension has come to symbolize the new cool that people actually want to experience and learn from.
고등학생 인터뷰 폴 카버, 비비안 사운드바이트, 한국어 교수, 줄임말 문화, 그리고 옥스퍼드 교수님. 큰일 났네요. 많아. 이 스탠드업을 하고
What can I say? I can count myself lucky to speak Korean as my mother tongue and to be able to cover a news story on the topic.
오케이. 박수 한 번만 해주세요.
Now, also, the Korean culture wave continues to expand with icons such as BTS and Squid Game leading the charge. And with more focus on the country, more people are eager to learn the Korean language, but learners are faced with the challenge of evolving language and less formal usage. Our Song Yoo-jin examines one of the barriers to Korean language acquisition.
The demand for learning Korean is booming across the world.
I use a lot of portmanteau words when I speak with my friends at school.
For those who are new to Korean, learning and understanding portmanteaus can be challenging.
Koreans are all about efficiency and speed, so they started shortening and combining words for efficiency.
송유진, 아리랑 뉴스.